welcome back to Max Reaction. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're doing good. I'm doing good myself. And we're going to talk about Marie Orosa. I think that's how you say her name. She is actually a legendary figure from the Philippines. A lady way back when in World War. And she made some very important, I guess you would call inventions or discoveries. And, you know, banana ketchup, I guess, would be one of them, but that's not one of the more important ones. But I love banana ketchup. We use it here. I couldn't really find a good video of it, so I'm going to read some stuff. We're going to talk about it. I think she's a figure from the Philippines that needs to be talked about. Maybe a lot of you don't know who she is, especially the youth probably don't know who she is. I don't know. I didn't know who she was until I had a subscriber say, hey, why don't you talk about Marie? You know, I was like, I don't know who she is. I have to do some research. And so I did. And I was like, wow, this is a very interesting person. So I'm going to read some stuff. We're going to talk about it. We're going to have a discussion down below in the comment box. So hopefully you stick around. I'll throw some pictures up of her while I read so you don't get bored. But you shouldn't get bored because she's a very fascinating person. Anyway, she created a banana sauce with mashed bananas, vinegars, and spices, and it was a brown colored, so it was like, man, they don't look very appetizing. So she added the red dye, and boom, that's how we have banana ketchup. And my wife introduced me to banana ketchup. My first trip to the Philippines was like, they make ketchup out of bananas? Really? And I tried it, and I liked it. And, you know, it's a little sweet, but there's a lot of sweet things in the Philippines. Like, you know, Filipino spaghetti. That's definitely sweet compared to what I'm used to over here. But I've learned to like the sweetness of Filipino food. And now I do like Philippine spaghetti, even with the hot dogs. I don't know if that's like a kid type thing. But you can serve me all the spaghetti, Filipino style you want, and I'm going to eat it. Anyway, I guess at the age of 23, she moved to the United States. She was a government-sponsored scholar at the University of Washington in Seattle. There she earned a bachelor's and master's degree in pharmaceutical chemistry as well as one in food chemistry. So she's a chemist, you know, and a food chemist at that. I wish I was a food chemist. I love eating food. Maybe I could create some really good stuff. Who knows? Anyway, during her education, Marie would spend her summer breaks working in the Alaskan canneries. In the end, she earned a position as an assistant chemist for the state of Washington, but instead chose to return to the Philippines in 1922. So, you know, she went to the United States, learned a lot about chemistry, you know, food chemistry, and boom, she's like, I want to go back to the Philippines. That's where I'm from. That's the land that I love. So that's what she did. Up on her return, she taught home economics at Centro Escolar University and would later transfer to the Bureau of Science, organizing the Food Preservation Division. So she's a very important part when it comes to food back in the day, because you got to preserve it to be able to eat it, or you're going to get sick. So, very awesome. A humanitarian at heart, Maria had a vision of empowering the Filipino family. She launched Health, Heart, Head, Hand, 4-H clubs. This organization brought herself and other educators into rural areas and boroughs to teach women how to raise poultry and preserve food, as well as how to prepare and plan meals. By 1924, the organization had over 22,000 members. That's a heck of a lot of members. And she's teaching these women, you know, that are out in the jungles, like, do it this way, you can preserve food longer, and you'll be able to, you know, feed your family. That's very important, you know. No matter what decade you're in, you got to feed your family or you're not going to live. But she used her background in food chemistry to run experiments in fermenting, dehydrating, and preserving native plants and animals. The inventions that emerged are said to still be used in laboratories today. So stuff, you know, ways she created way back when, they still use them today. I would say she's very important. The ultimate goal, make the Philippines more self-sufficient and sustaining, you know. And if you can have that self-sufficient and not rely on other countries or rely on other places, that's just boosting your country up, and that's what you want to do. You know, if you're Filipino and from the Philippines, you want to boost your country up. On a side note, I think part of learning history, remembering history, teaching history, you're boosting your country up in that way too. So there's many different ways you can do it. Local fruits like tamarind, santol, and calamansi provided her with foundations to make wine, jams, and jellies. Green banana flour would replace the need for wheat. Coconut would yield vinegars. She was the first to preserve macapuno, I guess that's how you say it, a jelly-like product of a coconut that is used in Southeast Asia to this day. So she was also the first to freeze mangoes, and enabling distributors to send famous Filipino fruit throughout the world. So thank you, because I love mangoes, and I will eat Filipino mangoes here in the United States. And you know, it's not like eating them right off the tree in the Philippines, but you still get that taste, you still get that flavor, you still get excited for it. I absolutely love mangoes. I eat so many when I'm in the Philippines. You got to, because you can't find them that good anywhere else, in my opinion. Anyway, the Bureau of Science recognized her efforts and promoted Maria to head of the Home Economics Division and the Divisions of Food Preservations. Her work with the Bureau would send her all over the world to research canning and preserving technologies. Wow. She was passionate about self-sustaining Philippine and made it her life's work to study native foods and use off fermentation and various preserving techniques to educate and uplift people in need. Some of Maria's most known contributions to the food world came during World War II. She was beloved with Filipino households for her banana ketchup, but become a war hero for her two other inventions. And you know, the soylac and the darak. Soylac is a protein-rich, highly nutritious powder soybean product. Darak is a rice byproduct that has high B vitamins and vitamins A, D, and E, intended to fight the vitamin B deficiency disease. So that, you know, there's people allergic to you know, milk, dairy, so these are very important. During World War II, Maria was a captain in marketing guerrillas, a group of Filipino soldiers who fought alongside the United States against the Japanese. Legends say that she devised a system for smuggling soylac and darak and bamboo into Japanese-run concentration camps. These intermittent camps, which housed mostly guerrilla and American prisoners of war, were known for poor sanitation and lack of food. Many would perish as a result of malnutrition. Freedom fighters disguised as carpenters would deliver Maria's magic food, saving countless prisoners of war and civilians. So she is true a legendary figure in the Philippines. Not that well known. Maybe she's more well known in the Philippines, but for a foreigner, I've never heard of her, and it's somebody the world needs to hear. Because did she not only help the Filipino people, her inventions and her discoveries have helped the world. So very, very important. Despite pleas from her family and colleagues to leave Manila during the war, she stayed until she was killed by shrapnel from a frag grenade in 1945. Oh, it's a shame, you know, and a lot of times heroes, they die doing their heroic act, and that's what she did, you know. And there's countless videos that we've went through on, you know, and I've reacted to and we've learned about where the hero died during the act. And I have many more that I've discovered that I want to share with you that you may know, you may not know, that we will share on this channel, so stick around. Maria Orosa was a scientist, an activist, a humanitarian, and a war hero who loved her country and dedicated her life to uplifting the Philippines through food invention. Many of her recipes and experiments were compiled by her niece, Helen Orosa de Rosario, in a book called Marie Orosa, Her Life and Work. The book contains over 700 recipes, some of them unedited since Maria wrote them. I need to get that book. I need to buy that book. I need to support this woman and her family, because you gotta support what's good in life, and that's what we should be doing. Banana ketchup, while probably the most beloved of Maria's creations, is just a small part of her great and many contributions to the food and history. Her creations were intended to bring forth self-sufficiency and empowerment for her nation. And yet, in this day and age, it's hard to not see Maria symbolize so much more. So we definitely need to remember her. We definitely need to spread the word about her. We definitely need to tell the youth. So, you know, maybe you're a teacher or something and you want to share this video, definitely share. Definitely share, because I learned a lot. Hopefully you learned a lot. She's a very important person, and I'm glad that, you know, one of my family members on the subscription of YouTube channel said, hey, why don't you talk about this woman? She's amazing. So that's all I needed to know, to go look and search and seek out to see who this woman was. And yes, I was amazed. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Those are my feelings. What's your thoughts? What's your feelings? What's your reactions? Let me know down below in the comment section. But for now, I'll see you next time. Peace, love, happiness. You need to spread it around the world. The world needs a lot more of it. I'll see you next time. Bye.